Okay. In any case, I made it clear because I thought the people of the establishment knew that. It was only when they started criticizing my work that I realized I didn't even know the liar and the priest were different people, and any idiot first grader could read the text and see that they're two different people being talked about here. But the liar is an ideological adversary within the movement. Because they identify the liar with the wicked priest, they have this liar leading a whole city and being responsible for untold evil and killing people and all kinds of other things, when in fact his only sin is that he pours out lies over the people. But he pours it out like a kind of water. And in pouring out the lies in a kind of water over the people, he removes the boundary markers. He removes the law which the first had set down. He's a traitor to the new covenant and the old covenant, because he denies, as the Habakkuk commentary says, and also about the liar, the law in the midst of the whole community or the whole congregation. Anyway, here we have him introduced for the first time. He poured over Israel the waters of lying, and in doing so, he doesn't kill a lot of people, he doesn't do political things, he's a spiritual teacher. What he does is deny the law. His whole doctrine is against the law. And in doing so, he caused them to wander in a trackless wilderness or a waste, bringing low the everlasting heights, i.e. the laws of the first, abolishing the laws of the first are called the ways of righteousness, again the Darchei Zedek, and removing the boundary markers, which the forefathers, again the word forefathers, the first, the Rishonim, the first, we're in the last generation, they were in the first, they set down these boundary markers, had marked out as their inheritance, and therefore God calls down on them the curses of his covenant and delivered them over to the avenging sword of the covenant. I feel we're in the Roman period, and the Roman sword is coming in to take its vengeance on those who have removed the boundary markers. It's all very complex. In any case, it is quite clear that the illusion, what the liar is doing is, one, he's pouring out like water over the people lies, and those lies involve denying or removing the law. In any case, then God responds by bringing the avenging sword on them, and they chose some more scriptural passages here from Isaiah. One of the things which these wicked people do is they justify the wicked. They make the wicked righteous. And again, we have the first allusion to justification theology. Thanks to Vermesh, he doesn't change the word justify here. These people justify the wicked and condemn the righteous. That is opposite to the natural order of justifying the righteous and condemning the wicked. Now, this is the dichotomy between Rasha'ah and Zadik. Rasha'ah and Zadik, evil and righteousness, condemnation and justification. Later on, when we start talking about the sons of Zadok in column 4, what the sons of Zadok do well is they set tables right. They justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. And the sons of Zadok are almost like supernatural beings. They will stand at the end of time. They're eschatological beings. Obviously, they're participating in the last judgment. And part of this standing at the last times is to make sure that the evil are condemned and the righteous are, well, justified or given their proper due for righteousness. But anyway, these people in the bad situation condemn the righteous, or make the righteous into sinners and make the sinners into righteous people. They break the covenant. The breaking of the covenant, again, transgressed. He misses this important language also in the letter of James of breakers. The breaking language runs all through here. It runs all through the Habakkuk commentary. And they violate the precept. Nonsense. They violate the law. The word is huk there. The word is huk. And it's not precept. Another Vermesh obfuscation. Sort of getting away from the zeal of this group. They band together against the life of the tzaddik. And it isn't the nefesh tzaddik. They against the soul of the tzaddik. They banded together. They attacked the righteous one. It could be the righteous generally. It could be the righteous one. And they didn't loathe, although they attacked. Didn't loathe. They attacked all the walkers in perfection, and they pursued them with the sword. And they exulted in the strife of the people, and the anger of God was kindled against them. Column 2, and their congregation, so that they were ravaged, and all their multitude and their deeds, no, their works were a defilement before him. So we got to an important crescendo there. There is an attack on a righteous one here. This could be an abstract attack. You know, I know James was known as the righteous one. In my view, this is the attack on James and his community. I think it's the early attack in the 40s that we get in the we get transformed in the book of Acts into an attack on Stephen. But that is another long discussion that we don't have time for here. But we do have two attacks on James in the life of James. One in the 40s. In the Pseudo-Clementines, that attack is led by Paul. Paul literally attacks James, according to the Pseudo-Clementines tradition, right or wrong, I don't know, and throws him down the temple steps in the temple and leaves him for dead in the temple, whereas in fact James was only injured and his leg was broken, and his followers carry him down to Jericho, wherein Paul follows him going on his way to Damascus. And at that point, Christian tradition picks up, and Paul has his vision on the way to Damascus. He comes through Jericho near here, but he misses James and his followers because they're out in the wilderness someplace doing something. Now that's in the Pseudo-Clementines, and that's incredible material relating James and his followers to this area and this location in some way. And you can say, oh, that's a novel, that's a fantasy. Sure, it's all fantasy. The question is, which is more solid fantasy than the others? And I think that is quite an